So, it was announced today that Dark Horse and Dynamite are coming together. I think this is the first time Dark Horse and Dynamite are doing something together. Yeah, I think this is the first time Dark Horse and Dynamite are going to be doing a crossover together. And when I read it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. What is it? And I was like, oh, now you got me interested. Yeah, as you can see from the cover right here, yeah, we're getting an Aliens Vampirella crossover. Now, most of you guys know I'm a huge Aliens fan. I have read some Vampirella here and there, not really a lot she's not one of my... I don't hate the character, that's the thing. I just haven't read a lot of her, but what I've read is pretty interesting. She's just not a character that's just on my radar. Vampirella is just not a character that is on my radar that often, so... It's not that I don't care about the character, it's just that she's not like... Oh, I wonder what Vampirella comics are going to happen today. Woo! So, yeah. So this is about the second time, finally we're getting another Alien and Predator crossover. I mean, yeah, we got Archie versus Predator, and from all intents and purposes, I've been hearing nothing but awesome things about Archie versus Predator, and I'm going to collect that in trade, but... Yeah, with this, it looks like Dark Horse is like, yeah, let's do, remember when we did stuff like Superman versus Terminator and, Green Lantern versus Alien and, Batman versus Predator? Let's go back to doing that. I feel like Dark Horse, like, when they decided to do the whole Alien and Predator stuff again, they were like, and when they did when they tested the water with Archie versus Predator, I feel like, okay, they were like, okay, now let's do something serious. And here we are. Yep, here we are once again, and about time too. I was about like Archie versus Predator. It's fun, it's gory, but it's a stupid idea, but stupid in a good way. Let me rephrase that: stupid in a good way. Now, it's not obviously with the fun, stupid action of Archie versus Predator. I was hoping that something would give way to something more. To a more serious crossover that we could get, and sure enough, Aliens. I don't really know what I could say. I like Aliens and Predator. It's never been like, ooh, do I like Aliens more than Predator? Yeah, so... But it's always good to see that the Aliens are actually getting a serious crossover. And in a weird kind of way, it makes sense with Vampirella. Hear me out. For those who don't read Vampirella, and again, this is the only knowledge I know of the character, is that she's not really a vampire. She may have vampire-like qualities and whatnot, but in truth, she's actually an alien. Just let that sink in for a bit. I know, when I first found out, I was like, she's not a vampire? She's an alien? The fuck? Yeah. I was talking with Mount Vernon kid, and he was talking about Vampirella, and he's like, "Yeah, she ain't really an alien." I was like, "Really? She's not? Nah." He was like, "She's not really a vampire." She's like, and I was like, well, "What the hell is she?" She's an alien that have vampire-like qualities. To which I say, again, the fuck. So, in a weird kind of way, the Aliens meeting Vampirella is kind of it makes kind of sense. But yeah, after so many minutes, I'm betting what you're wondering what the story is. The story is that mankind has brought a colony to Mars. They're actually building a colony on Mars. However, they've they found some, I think it's a downed ship, much like in the Alien movie, and they've awoken an alien hive within it. And however, as extra insurance, they brought Vampirella to protect them. So Vampirella is going to go head-to-head with aliens, which I think is really cool. It's always fun to see alien. I think my favorite alien crossover that I've read. I think my favorite aliens crossover on. If you were to ask me what mine was, excluding AVP because that's in its own universe. So excluding that, my favorite intercompany aliens crossover would have to be Judge Dredd versus Aliens. That is such a good comic. It is such a good crossover. It stays so faithful to both Judge Dredd and the Aliens franchise. It's a lot of action. I've talked about it before. I think I did a review on it on my channel, actually. It's so much fun. I really recommend Judge Dredd versus Predator. Yeah, well, there is a Judge Dredd versus Predator comic, but I've never been able to read it. But Judge Dredd versus Alien is really good. I highly recommend Judge Dredd versus Alien. Also, Superman Alien is really good too. Yeah, Superman versus Aliens is really good too. But I'm getting off topic here. So, yeah, I think this is a cool idea of having, you know, Vampirella, who has, even though she's an alien, she has all these abilities of vampires going up against creatures that are literally almost, you know, everything about them just says, I'm going to kill you. Everything, right down to their, right down to their biology, screams, I'm going to kill you in the most horrible way possible, and if I let you live, that means I'm going to kill you even worse, because I'm going to put a facehugger down your throat. Speaking of which, I know one person who probably won't be reading this crossover. Yeah, for those who don't, I'm just going to let everybody in on a, you know, not well-kept, but public secret, if you will. My good friend Mount Vernon Kid does not like the facehuggers. He hates facehuggers, and he can't watch the Alien movies when they come on. He hates them. So I don't know if he'll be reading. I know he's more of a Vampirella fan than I am, but I don't know if he'll be reading this crossover. Chris, I dare you to read this because I know you're watching this. Chris, I know you're watching, so I dare you to read this comic book. You chicken? What's the matter? What's the matter, Bennett? You chicken? Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what do you guys think of this crossover? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? What do you guys think it's going to be like when Vampirella tangles with the aliens or xenomorphs? That's their actual name. But yeah, I'm really excited for this crossover. It comes out in fall, so stay tuned for that. And anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.